Why is it so hard for you to heal what hurts? Are you even being honest about what hurts you? You see people all the time going through the motions. They cry, they upset. What is that saying? Time heals all wounds. But does it really heal all wounds when you absolutely do not even tend to that wound? You just left it untreated. What happens when you leave wounds untreated? They get infected, correct? And if that wound sits there a good amount of time infected, does it stay just in that one part of the body, or will it start creating problems and disease in the other parts of the body? So it's like when you choose not to heal your heart, what do you think is going to happen with your demeanor and your personality and your character? You're not just going to be bleeding on yourself, you're going to be bleeding on everybody else that comes in contact with you. The relationships that you have are not going to be healthy and they're not going to be whole. I don't know why we tend to think that, oh, I'm just going to get through this. No, it's not about getting through it. It's about growing through it. Getting through it is, like I said, you going through the motions. You crying, you upset, you angry. You letting a little time pass before you think that you're okay. And here you go, jumping back up out there, doing the exact same thing. You want to know why you keep doing the exact same thing? That is because you didn't grow through it. You didn't take the time to sit. You didn't take the time to self-reflect. You didn't take the time to figure out, okay, you know what? Different person, same situation. Who's the common denominator in this? I know that is so hard to look at ourselves. It's hard to look in the mirror and actually see what's really there. It's so much easier to look at everybody else, but to actually look at yourself and be like, ooh, maybe it's me. That is a hard pill to swallow, but sometimes that is a pill that we need to swallow. That's something that you need to take in. You need to understand and figure out, why is it that I keep going through the same thing over and over and over again? Why does it keep resurfacing? That is because you are not getting to the root of the problem. That is because you are not trying to figure out, okay, why do I keep coming to this? Like, why do I keep coming to this result? Why different people, different situations, different scenarios, but the same outcome? What's going on that I keep coming up with the same outcome? This is where you sit and self-reflect. This is where you grow instead of just go through the emotions. You grow through them. You ever notice that God will keep continuing to take you through the same thing over and over and over and over again until you learn the lessons? That's just like in school. Do you think they're going to pass you to the next grade if you don't even understand the work? No, they're not. In order for you to be able to pass, you need to be able to understand your classwork. You need to be able to pass your quizzes. That's the only way that they're going to know that you truly understand everything that it is that you are being taught and being told in order for you to go on to the next level. And it's the same thing. If you have not learned the lessons when it comes to dealing with certain things, why would you think that you would be able to just bypass it without growing through it, without learning that lesson, without sitting there and self-reflecting? Sometimes you got to sit in that pain. Sometimes you got to sit in it. Not sitting in it to get stuck in it. Now, let's make that clear. We're not sitting in it to get stuck in it. We're not sitting in it to be angry. Not sitting in it to be bitter. But we're sitting in it so that we could really, truly get to the root of the problem. This is not surface level. We're going underneath. We're going deep. And anybody knows about trees, and if you've studied about trees, the roots are deep. So you got to get down up into the root of the problem. You got to be able to snip that thing at the root. Because if you cut it up here, okay, let's talk for a moment. This is the dirt, right? You got the tree up above. You got the roots down below. You cut it up here, what's going to happen? It's going to eventually grow. It's going to eventually come back. But if you cut it down here at the root, you didn't deal with the issue. You didn't deal with the problem. You didn't actually learn the lesson. So now you don't have to worry about keep going through it over and over and over again, because you actually grew through it. You actually graduated to the next level. And I know the thing that I hate the most is it seems like you're always growing. It seems like you're always learning something. That's life though. Would you rather be sitting here stuck, or would you rather constantly be growing, learning, and elevating? So, this is you choosing you. This is you choosing to nurture and no longer neglect the relationship that you hold with yourself. But what does that look like to you? I know what it looks like to me. So now you got to figure out, what does that look like to you? So, just want y'all to sit on that. I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to really self-reflect on that. Just sit and look in the mirror and see what it is that you really truly need to work on. What's really truly deep below that surface that you really need to dig up, so that it doesn't just keep coming back around and you keep repeating these cycles and you're trying to figure out why, because you're thinking that, oh, I've already gone through it. Like we said, no more going through it, but we're actually growing through it. So I love y'all, and I will see y'all next time.